I know you're a motivator for many people, and oftentimes when you have that role, that moniker, you're the strong friend.
Yeah.
So I got to check in on strong friends. I want to check in with you because you've gone viral recently. People questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking.
Yes, y'all, we are checking back in on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant once again, and I didn't think we was going to have to check in this quick. This video, as of the taping of this recording, is 3 hours ago, and fair use to Fox 5 Washington, D.C. The title of this video is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant Talks New Book, Controversy Over Doctor Credentials. And we all know that yesterday she went on the Breakfast Club, and she was talking about how she tried to get in touch with financial aid, and she couldn't get a copy of her dissertation, and all these kind of things that basically amount to, I don't have proof that I'm an actual doctor, even though I throw around the title, it's in my name. And much like Dr. Umar Johnson, because you don't have these credentials, you don't have the proof of these credentials, the advice that you give and things that you talk about will always be in question. And you're not licensed, which is another thing, just like Dr. Umar. So we always look at your advice and the things that you talk about, all the dynamics of relationships in the Black community and men and women and marriage and all these kind of things. We're always going to look at your advice with a side eye because you're not credentialed and you're not licensed. All right. And that's just the way it is. OK.
I beg your pardon.
You also went on a Joe Budden podcast, and that's what sparked the whole thing. We were already questioning it, but then you went on a Joe Budden podcast talking about, I don't operate with the license and all this kind of stuff. And so you should have never said that. So now we're always going to be on your neck about your credentials. Again, much like our good brother, Ifa Tunde.
I'm going to call it like I say it. And I don't care if you get offended. We can handle that outside.
But we're going to get into Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Miss Melissa here. Again, shout out to Fox 5 Washington and fair use to them. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And all of you, please hit the like button. I did it in reverse this time. Didn't mean to, but it is. And to further contribute to the channel, hit that join button down below to become a member of the Working Man Union. Hype this video, that will help me out in the algorithm, and hit the Cash App $sign Mr. Normie, because I do this for fun, but of course I do it also for funds. Let's listen to Miss Melissa try to be the good friend to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time for my book that just, launched a couple days ago. And within 24 hours, we made the bestsellers list, not only for print, but for the ebook. And so that's very exciting. Also, I know a couple of things. There's promises that God has for us. He says that all, not some, all things are working for your good. He also says that not to get weary in well-doing. And he says that I give you much territory, and your job is to possess it, and my job as God is to protect it. I protect what I give you. And so when territory is expanded, God says that the cross gets heavier.
Okay, so her cross is super heavy right now, right? Okay, don't get weary in your well-doings and, all this, philosophical and religious talk. And yes, bad publicity is still good publicity. So people have probably flocked to her website. They flocked to all her, social medias and things like that. So yes, she just came out with this new book like 2 or 3 days ago. Bestseller. I mean, I haven't checked myself, but I'm sure she's got some good sales off of it because people still listen to her because, for her age, I'm going to keep it real. She's pretty, things like that. So people are going to listen to her for nothing else but that. I get it. But the credentials, we still need those credentials.
If you cannot carry a heavy cross for the expansion of the territory I gave you, then guess what? Maybe you're not ready, because to whom much is given, much is required. And so it's important for people who are in service, in leadership positions, to not personalize, right? When you have folks who come in and attempt to crucify what you have going on, because your job is to not get weary in your service. And I'll land on this. My obedience is to God, not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his word, my sheep will know my voice.
Okay, you know what? I got a question out of Cheyenne Bryant. Were you in God's word when you were wearing that, that skimpy outfit to a Jeezy concert?
Enemy spotted.
All right. Were you in service to God when you went on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay video and you were telling the brothers out there that you don't want them to love you from here, but to love you from here, huh?
Enemy spotted.
I mean, tell me about that. You know what I mean? For us religious that you're talking, you know, through much is given, much is required. And as long as I'm walking his word and all this kind of stuff, I'm getting blessed in 1, 2, 3. But outside of the office, you're a heathen. Oh, okay. All right. I would like to love you from here too. I would like to love you from there too, and in a lot of other ways, you know what I'm saying? But we're not going to get into that.
Keeping with clothing. That is not my battle.
Well,
That's
with the
his.
questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals.
And by the way, we know you're educated. The other really is only about the doctor title, and because of that, you know, thus the advice and the teaching that you're giving. Right? If you weren't a doctor, if you was like these other guys, you know, Ace Metaphor and, you know, all these other guys that you're always on the freaking Tonight's conversation with, if you were just a regular podcaster like us and you was giving this stuff from your own experience, that'd be different. But you hold the title of doctor. That carries weight. And so because of that, we need to see the proof that you're a doctor. Because if you had everything to line that up, then we would actually respect your advice over everybody that you're around all the time. As you're getting famous, but you don't have that. And so essentially we look at you like everybody else holding a doctor title.
My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp,
Okay, here's another question. Here's another question I have for y'all.
You sure about that?
She keeps talking about these sessions. Are these sessions? I thought these were just interviews you were giving out. So are you telling me that you're psychologizing these people as you're doing the interviews?
You don't find that suspicious?
I do.
You don't find that suspicious?
So are we counting those interviews as sessions? And you said they were live. Are you talking about the interviews that you did with these people? Unless you're talking about backdoor sessions that you actually had with them off camera. If you're referring to the interviews that you gave that's made you go viral, you know, all these times, then I definitely call bullshit. Now, if you're counting that as a session per se, okay, and I know you got paid for this stuff, and that's cool. Everybody that's famous gets paid for these interviews for the most part, unless you're going on DJ Vlad. But that's another question. That's another story. Anyway, that's a session. Okay.
They have all been for the world to see. Right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself, they deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I'll land on this, I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy.
This is the same type of rhetoric that Umar Johnson talks about. He says, you know what? A lot of the guys that are detractors now, or as he called haters, they were supporters. But as Umar Johnson would say, they gave in to the hate. And so now they're the enemy, now they're the book Negroes, right? This is the same rhetoric that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant saying, that envy has turned into, that admiration has turned into envy. That these people were, they were, good guys. Now they're villains. Okay.
You got to be okay, and you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack. But I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them.
You do.
Service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah, because I earned it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. There you got it.
Enemy spotted.
She said, I stand by it. I'm not changing for nobody. I'm not jumping for nobody. If you don't like it, then you can go where the sun don't shine. Okay. All right. Well, y'all see it, right? Again, I'm sure she's gonna get this question a few more times, or she might tell the next person that she goes on, hey, look, you can pay me, it was cool, but we're not asking that question no more. So we'll see the next interview, the next podcast she goes on, because I saw on, I believe, either X or Instagram, she has another interview that's about to come out with, what's that one? Dear Future Wifey. Y'all probably seen that podcast before too, right? This is a kind of religious guy, and he promotes marriage and things like that. And he's had Dr. Cheyenne Bryant on before. So that's another interview that she's going to have probably releasing soon. So we'll see what she has to say on that show, all right? Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she's standing by her title. She says that she ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. She's earned her spot. If you don't like it, stop watching. Okay. And with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of the Working Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about what Dr. Cheyenne Bryant had to say today about her credentials. Let me know down in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. We're out of the door, and I will see you on the next video.